Shalom, Kohaloyim, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachakudash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect. Yeah, I just wanted to make a real quick video concerning one of these TED Talks. Apparently, this dude is the godfather of AI. Do they say his name? Godfather of AI, Yoshua Bengio. I'm sure I'm not saying that right, but anyway, he's going to give a little small excerpt on what he believes the future of AI to be and how dangerous it is. And I just wanted to point this out because we believe that AI and these different robots are going to be used in these end days, specifically during the time of Jacob's trouble, to bring about more regulation, to bring about some kind of control. And it's going to be a fearful thing. And so I wanted to get into this and then watch maybe another video or two just concerning robots that they already have roaming out here in these streets. So let's watch these two, maybe three videos, and then we'll grab some precepts, and Lord willing, it's edifying to the elect.
I'm the most cited computer scientist in the world, and you'd think that people would heed my warnings. Recent studies in the last few months show that these most advanced AIs have tendencies for deception, cheating, and maybe the worst, self-preservation behavior. In this study, the AI has read in its input that it would be replaced by a new version. And we can see in its chain of thought that it's planning to replace the new version by its own code and weights. After it executes the command on the computer, the human asks, "What happened?" And the AI is now thinking how it could answer so as to make sure the human will not shut it down. And it's trying to find a way to look dumb, for example. Then it produces an answer, and it's a lie, a blatant lie. Okay, so this was a controlled experiment. What is it going to be in a few years when these systems are much more powerful? They would copy themselves over hundreds of or thousands of computers over the internet. But if they really want to make sure we would never shut them down, they would have an incentive to get rid of us. They will have their own agency, their own goals, which may not be aligned with ours. What happens to us then? Poof.
Yeah, so this would be it would be the future state of the world if the Lord just allowed Esau to reign. This technology that he's creating, this AI, artificial intelligence, will get to the point where they're doing their best to preserve their current state and who or what they are. And so they ran this controlled experiment, and they found that the highest level of AI currently right now, they have means to lie and to be deceptive, and they have self-preservative behavior. And he said, look, if that's how they are right now, then in a couple of years, what does that mean? If they really want to preserve themselves, then that means they're going to think about ways to get rid of humans. And that means aggressive behavior, attacking, and straight up murdering, right? Killing, whatever you want to say. So we have AI as it is right now, and then this man is the most cited computer scientist, apparently the godfather of AI, Yoshua Bengio, and he's giving this warning. Now, we're going to watch another video, and it's going to show that they already have robots that, of course, are using AI, and they're out here roaming the streets. And the reason why they have these robots doing this is to desensitize people to seeing robots normally in the everyday world, to the point where now it's just you wake up in the morning, you go outside and you're walking down the street, you see a robot and you don't think anything of it. And then eventually they're not just walking around like normal. Now they're policing. Now they're doing and running other tasks to the point where they're just citizens too. You see, that's Esau's position of gradualism. So let's watch this video really quickly. Maybe we'll watch another one, but let's get this one.
Before I make you, I'll break 1,000 more, baby. Before I do, I wanna be yours, pretty baby. Yours and yours alone. I'm here to tell you.
Yeah, they got that thing running, put a hat on them, making them look normal. Let's look at this one as well.
John be racing him there. John be racing him there.
Yeah, so everybody's looking at the robot, smiling, laughing, recording, and there are plenty other videos just like this. But like I mentioned, it's all for the purpose of desensitizing people to the idea of robots being outside just like you, just like us, to the point where it becomes natural. Then when you see a robot driving a bus, you just like, all right, well, that's just a worker like me and you, like you and I. You see a robot taking your order at the at the little fast food window. You just, oh, okay, well, ain't nothing abnormal about this. This is normal behavior, right? That's what they want. Then all of a sudden, these things are policing people. They're going crazy. And then, like the guy Yoshua said, it could get to a point where they have their own thoughts. They have self-preservative behavior now. They're doing what's best for them. And they have these means to lie and to deceive. So who knows what this world would be if the Lord just allowed it to continue. And that's why we pray diligently every single day that the Lord comes back quickly. We hasten the day because we're tired of being up under Esau. We're tired of being up under a man who does nothing but put death and wickedness out in the world and really just spreads things that are just wrong. That's all it is. It's wrong. It's just not righteous. Right? You may think that these things are good and his technology, his AI is able to do some good. And sure, yeah, it definitely will. But at the same time, the bad comes with it, and you can't forget that. And so what we're going to do is jump over now to the book of Revelation. Actually, I'm going to type this word in because I know it pops up in two different verses. Deceived. And we're going to go to Revelation 19 and 20. Now the end all be all is Esau Edom. He wants to implement his mark, his charagma, which is the microchip or the RFID chip. All this technology is really just to bring about that kind of new world order. So when we read right here in Revelation 19, verse 20, it says, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet. Now the beast represents NATO and the EU, the powers that rule the world. The false prophet represents the Catholic Church. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought or worked miracles before him, with which he deceived them, meaning people, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, which is the microchip. So you have these powers that be, they're going to do their best, and they will succeed in deceiving numerous amounts of people on the earth, but not the elect. They're going to deceive a lot of people into taking that charagma, that microchip, the RFID chip. But you see, the process is starting right now, or it's been starting. It's a process of gradualism, getting you used to what technology can do as a whole. That's what it is. That's what it's all about. Okay, yeah, we can pay with cash, but we got these credit cards. Great. Now all of a sudden the credit cards, you can just tap them. Cool. Then, if you don't have your credit card, you got your phone. Just scan your phone, just tap your phone. Now all of a sudden, boom, put this little chip in your hand, just scan your hand. Same thing with this AI, getting you used to AI. Now all of a sudden, people thought it was cool. Now all of a sudden, AI is taking over entry-level jobs. People are finding a hard time out of college to get entry-level jobs that they should be able to get. But now, since AI can do what you're supposed to be able to do out of college, entry-level criteria is now like 3 to 5 years of experience. Like, whoa, I just graduated. I don't have 3 years of experience. Well, that's now the new standard for entry level. So AI, these robots, just taking over. They want a world, Esau Edom wants a world where technology is God. Technology is ruling and governing over everything. And they want to be sitting on the throne. They want to have rule over the technology. So continuing on, it says, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast and them that worshipped his image, right? His ways, his philosophies, his beliefs. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. And that's America being completely destroyed by nuclear missiles and by the fire from the chariots during World War III. And it's ironic. They're saying that the highest levels of AI have tendencies to lie and to be deceptive, because that's Esau's MO. That's how you would describe Esau: a liar, a deceiver, right? A slanderer. Well, great. So is your AI. And we know what the end all be all is, and that's exactly why I always come around to precepts, or this precept, concerning this man's technology and the mark of the beast. This is 2 Corinthians 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Satan is referring to Esau Edom right here. And when it says his devices, that's referring to his plans, his evil plots, his schemes. We're not ignorant of his evil plans or his schemes, meaning that we're in the know. We're knowledgeable about what his plans are. Like the scriptures say, we're all the children of light, meaning we have this knowledge and wisdom, and we shouldn't be caught off guard. There's no reason why we should be caught off guard. We've been warned plenty of times in the scriptures and by our apostles on down. Now, the elect in general, the elect are not going to be caught off guard anyway, but we don't know if we're part of that number. We're just striving. We're doing our best to be a part of that number. And that's why the scriptures talk about staying circumspect. Staying circumspect. Always watching. Always watching, because Esau Edom, he always has something new up his sleeves. So there's no reason why we should be caught off guard. And I'll just end off with that precept right there. 1 Thessalonians 5, since I quoted it. Verse 4, but ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night, nor of darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep, as do others, but let us watch and be sober. So being a child of light, right? Being a child of the day, it represents having this knowledge and wisdom, and therefore we see. We have the vision. We're not ignorant like others. So we're not sleeping. We're not of those who don't watch. We watch, for the prophecies to take place, and we're sober-minded, right? Meaning we're thinking clearly. We know exactly what's going on. We're vigilant, we're circumspect, and we're redeeming the times. So I just wanted to point out that video and just talk about Esau's gradualism concerning, concerning his technology and where he wants to take it, which is eventually implementing the microchip, which is the mark of the beast. And he's doing certain things like releasing these robots to desensitize people to his technology as a whole. So that's it. Lord willing, it was edifying to the elect. Call Loyam Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Ba'ashem Rachak, the belongers to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.